Hi, boys and girls. We're going to be doing a cool lesson today on a thinking cap sculpture. So these are your supplies that you'll need. You will need paper, construction paper, or maybe a white sheet of paper, a paper plate, glue, markers, scissors, a hole punch, and yarn or string. This is for pre-K through 2nd grade. All right, let's get started. So for our project today, we're going to be starting off talking about lines, the different kinds of lines. So if you have a white sheet of paper, that's great. If not, you could use the back of an old piece of homework or a piece of newspaper or a bag, a paper bag, and anything that you could cut and make patterns and designs on with line. All right, so to get started today, we're going to be folding our paper. So I'm going to show you how to do this so it doesn't end up wonky. It ends up straight. So you want to walk up your paper to the top of your page. Line it up as best you can. And bring your fingers down to fold the edge of your paper like that. That holds it down very well. All right, let's do it again. Let's bring this folded edge to the top. All the way up, walk it, walk it, walk it, walk it. Make it as close as you can, and then hold with this hand and fold with your other hand. All right, now that's a lot of paper, but let's try to do it one more time. Stretch your paper all the way. That's a lot of paper. Stretch it to the top and press it down. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly even, but you want to have some angles in there. So, all right, I'm pressing it down, rub, 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 making that paper feel good there. All right, now I'm going to open it up. All the way up. I've made creases, as you can see, in my paper. All right, these creases are going to make up our places that we're going to be designing today. So the first thing we're going to do is make different types of lines. So we're going to start off with a rainbow. So we're going to start off with the color red. And I want to just make inside my crease some vertical lines. Those are lines that travel up and down, vertical lines, straight vertical lines from my crease all the way out to the edge of my paper to make my pattern. There we go. All right, now I'm going to switch to a second color, orange, and I'm going to do in my next section a zigzag line. I'm going up to my point and back down, up and down, up and down and up. Now I'm going to make my pattern a little more interesting by going in and adding a second row of pattern. Maybe even at the top, I could come in and make some more patterns, just like that. Those are called repeated patterns with zigzag lines. All right, our next color is going to be yellow. And we're going to make some loopy lines. Some curvy loopy lines in this section. Zip, 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 zip. All the way across, keeping a rhythm. All right, our next color is green. Now I'm going to make some really cool lines with green. Just some random lines with my green marker. Just making my own personal touch on my project, okay? All right, the next color in our rainbow would be blue. All right, so we're going to take our blue and we're going to do some curvy lines. And I'm going to teach you one other technique when you're doing this blue line. Overlapping, going back over your design. So you have two lines traveling in the same way. All right. Okay, our next color we're going to be using is purple. Now we're going to do some horizontal lines. That means that they travel from side to side. Just like that. Side to side on your paper. Okay, now our next color is going to be starting on our rainbow again with red. And with this one, we're just going to have fun like we're riding on a roller coaster. Whee! Can you imagine riding a roller coaster that moved like this? Wow! Make you all dizzy. All right, starting back with orange. I'm going to do the ocean waves with this one. Do, 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 do. Like the ocean would go up and down and up and down. Now you don't have to make your own paper. If you want to use solid pieces of paper or things that like comic strips or newspaper or paper bag design or whatever, you can use those, but I like to put my own personal touch on mine. So I have lots of different patterns, kind of in a rainbow style here. Now to cut mine apart, I'm going to use my scissors, and remember to cut away from yourself and keep your scissors straight. And I'm going to cut my strips. These are going to help me build my thinking cap today. All these crazy wavy lines and patterns make our brains really think. Imagine if you could see your brain think, how it would look in color and lines. Vertical lines, horizontal lines, zigzag lines, curvy lines, straight lines. All right, I'm just making my own little stack here of my lines that I've collected. This is going to be our first part, collecting our lines. So we have a variety of different kinds of lines that you've made with different repeated patterns. Now, just for fun, I'm going to bring in some solid colors, just a few. And I'm going to add my favorite colors, red and green and blue. And I'm just going to cut off some strips of red and green and blue from my scrap paper to use in my design. Now, since we're making a sculpture, sculptures have bases. Bases are just like the Statue of Liberty. When you look at the Statue of Liberty, it's three-dimensional. You can see it from all different sides, and depending on what side you're standing on, you would see different shapes and lines and patterns. So you need a base. Okay, now if you decide to wear this as a hat, you can do that. Or you can use a piece of flat cardboard or anything you can find that's flat to make your base. All right, so to start our base, we're going to need a little glue to start our forming of our thinking cap. All right, so I'm going to take my strip of paper and I'm going to be making some different types of arches. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to make an arch like this by just curving my paper. But my paper would probably bounce off if I didn't have another little helper. We're going to make feet for our arch just by folding it over on the end. And I'm going to wiggle my way down to the other end and make a second foot. Now, when I bring my arch together, it has feet. That's where I'm going to add my glue. I'm going to put glue on the ends of my feet. And then I'm going to think about my base. Where am I going to sit this that's going to be very interesting? Okay. Now to make sure it holds, you have to put it here and hold your fingers on it and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it holds. Cool, I love it. All right, we're going to think about how to use some of our designs that we made. Now, when I like to do my thinking hat caps, I like to make them nice and tall. So I'm going to add some of my arches maybe on top of one another. So I'm going to make sure I have feet on both ends, just like we did before. And before I put down my arch, I'm going to add glue to the ends of my feet. Let's see, do I want to put it beside it? Maybe on top of it. Oh, wow. I'm going to touch the bottom and I'm going to touch the top. And look, my arch is really, really high. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, so what I want you to do is to creatively think about how you can do your arches. The next kind of arch we're going to do is a zigzag. Okay, so we want to take our strip, and instead of making feet, we're going to fan fold our strip back and forth and back and forth, just like that. And when I'm all the way to the end and I open it up, wow, look at there, that's very cool. That's a neat way to make a piece to go on my hat. So I'm going to put glue on the ends, and then I'm going to attach it to my arches. All right, so we have a smooth arch, we have a zigzag arch. Now we're going to make a looping arch. Take your flat sheet of paper and you turn, let's turn it this way. Turn your arch. And instead of folding it, add glue to this side, and we're going to add a loop on our arch. That is a loop design. By just simply twisting our paper. Don't forget to hold it down for those 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's stuck. Look, like magic. Whoops, almost. That one kind of got restless. It wanted to flip out. That's okay though. We'll hold it down a little extra time. All right. Now we're going to make our last zigzag. We're going to make a curl. So we're going to take one of our flat strips and I'm going to grab a coloring pencil. And this time we're going to roll the paper around our pencil. Not too tight, just enough to make it curly. You can use all of these techniques in all kinds of paper relief designs. Look, and I have a curl. Now let me put a little foot on there, and then I can attach it to my paper. You can use all these techniques when you're doing paper sculpture. Make sure the design really cool. Okay, and so what I'm going to ask that you do is when you are going to be working is to continue to use all of your paper that you maybe have designed or cut to enhance and make your thinking cap as large as you can. Now, if you decide that you would like to wear it as a thinking cap, you need a pair of these. The hole punchers. It looks like a little alligator with a tongue right there. All right, so I'm going to come to one side of my plate to make a hole for my string for my hat. And I'm going to go all the way across it to the opposite side and make a hole. And that's where I would attach my string with to make my hat. All right. So anyway, you would cut your string and you would attach it, and this would be what your final product looks like. after you had attached your string by tying a knot on each side, and you had finished adding all of your loops and your arches and your curls and your folded pieces, you would have a thinking cap or a thinking sculpture. All right, you guys, have fun and enjoy your thinking caps, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe.